Creole settings. Sorry for that.
Gotta get like Wii music or like movie shop channel music in the background while we. Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of El Koki Otaku. Today we have a guest with us. Her name is Lexi Nieto, but before I even put her on the screen, we know her better as Tomo Aisawa and Tomo Chan is a girl. We also know her as Walkure in Tact of Destiny and Beck by the Grace of the Gods. So please give it up for Lexi Nieto. Yeah! Wow, what an entrance. Thank you. Thank you. I'm gonna keep practicing that. No, that was killer. I don't even think you need to practice anymore. It's ready. It's set. You got it.
You guys feeling just like me. Oh my god, I have Tomo Chan in front of me because your personality is so the same. From the moment you walked in the camera, and I was like, whoa. That's hair for real.
She's a lot tougher than me. I couldn't beat up anybody if I tried. I'm way too scared to touch anybody, but yeah, other than that, like my friends, no joke, my friends had an episode running in their living room and my friend in the other room was like, oh my god, Lexi's here, and like came out and thought that I was in the apartment, but they were actually watching the show. So they thought that I was literally there because it's just me. It's just what I sound like.
But it's so natural. It's so you, which I'm so surprised because those who have seen the Japanese version, there's no too much difference between the Japanese version and the English.
My god, thank you for saying that. Rie is amazing. She's so good. So thank you for saying that.
Which make me, I have to ask, how this happened? Because the chances of finding the same drop falling twice and the main character are super hard. And how this happened? This role, like the new waifu. That I feel like it's just a waifu, that a different waifu in this winter season that nobody thought that she'll be in the ranks on the anime ranking.
Yeah, it's a very special situation because Caitlin Glass, the director, she was tasked with casting the trailer a long time ago, like last summer, and I had been working with her on Tact of Destiny. So I was doing some other like little bit parts for another project she was in, and she was like, okay, hop out of the booth, I have a question for you. And I already was like, oh my god, what does that mean? Oh my god. So she was like, I've been asked to direct this trailer that's coming out this weekend at Anime Expo, and I think you would be great for this character. She showed me some visuals, she told me about the show, she told me about the manga, that people love it, whatever. She was like, would you be interested in this? And are you free in January for when the show is going to come out? And I was like, what do you mean? Oh my god. So it was a very special situation. I didn't audition. She just met me and got to know me through working with me on other stuff. And she thought of me for this. So like, it's so lucky and special. Like, it was a very unique situation. And I can't believe that's how it happened. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy.
But I can tell you, you're enjoying this role as Tomo Chan, because from Walkure, did I say it right? Walkure. It's a very different character. When I have Walkure and Tomo, they're in different spectrum. So
for sure.
For those who haven't watched Tomo Chan is a Girl yet, how would you describe that anime series?
Oh my gosh, so funny. Like, there are anime that are very funny. This show, because the writing is so brilliant. Leah Clark, who also plays Toga in My Hero in the English dub, she is our writer, and the lines that she comes up with for these translations and these adaptations are hysterical. And so a lot of like colloquialisms and a lot of like very natural modern language is part of it, and it's used, I think, in a way that's not like, sometimes that can be kind of like, that's kind of like cringy, but the way that she does it is so brilliant and it's so funny. It's just even the animation, like aside from the writing, just there's so many visual gags that are so funny, and the characters are also likable, and the performances are also good. It's a hilarious rom-com that, like, I mean, it's slice of life, but it's so funny. I just can't tell you how funny it is. You gotta watch it because you'll laugh so much every time. It's ridiculous. But if you love a good friends to lovers, some zany chaos, some wacky characters, you will really like this show. It's so good. It's so funny.
But this series is different. It's important, I will say, because I haven't seen this in a while. That we have a simulcast, simuldub.
Yes.
For those who also know what simulcast, simuldub mean, simulcast, the same day in Japan, they broadcast this episode. It is broadcast by the company, in this case, the distributor Crunchyroll for the America, the same day. Simuldub mean that the same day the episode is broadcast in Japan, at the same time it's broadcast in the America, but at the same time it's broadcast the dub episode.
Mm-hmm.
How the heck that happened? Because technically, most of the time, voice actor, they have a slide window to take a look at it, to the character, the performance in Japanese. In this case, there's no window at all, right? Or there's any spoiler for you guys that you can see, like, okay, this is how the character is doing, or they're just going blind into the challenge?
Yes, so it's the same, at least like for us actually, like when I go in to record, it's the same process as other shows. Like we still do have the Japanese beforehand. We just did it way ahead of time, so we were able to drop them on the same day. So when I am going in to do it, I see the Japanese first, and then I go, like, they show me the Japanese first, and then we go back right after it. So we were still able to do that. Like we still had all the materials ahead of time. We were just lucky in this situation that the release date was so far after they were done with the animation and with the Japanese recording, which is it's just a unique situation, because usually, with other shows, like as it comes out, you gotta go. This one, since Crunchyroll and Aniplex were the ones in charge of making the anime, this was a unique situation that we had a lot of time ahead of time to like sit with it, really be able to get into it, and take our time on it if we needed.
In a scenario like this one,
how much time do you have to, for the development?
Well, typically there's only there's 2 or 3 weeks usually. It's different for every show. Like schedules are pretty whack, but typically you have about 2 to 3 weeks to get everybody in for one episode, and then you gotta go. But for this, we started recording back in October, so we had a long time before the show came out. Yeah.
So in that scenario where you have technically getting material way ahead, I'm just wondering, the paperwork law or legal agreement, do this change, or is it the same like any other casting?
It's the same. It was the same for us. Because once you're just a contracted, you're a contracted performer, so you sort of like it. That's more of a discussion with the director as what you can talk about and what you can post about. Because after I recorded the trailer, Caitlin was like, "Just don't post about it yet, because they'll probably want to make a big announcement when the actual show comes out, or if any direction changes, or if anything changes and you don't end up being in the show, we wouldn't want you to have this whole big announcement and then something change." So typically that's just it's a conversation with the director, and they'll let you know usually what's good or what's not good.
So in those NDAs, who give you the green light to say it's me? Is the director or the company?
It's the director, and also at least with Tomo, there's like a whole PR team. Like there's like our marketing and licensing team that we were in contact with. So they were like, "Hey, just so you know, we're making the announcement tomorrow. Here are the graphics that you guys can post." So usually you'll be in touch with somebody on like the social team or somebody like that.
And how do you feel during that time where you were working and you had to hold it? Because Tomo Chan, again, did you knew it was going to be a so important character and series by the time you were recording?
Kind of, just because I know how I knew how beloved the anime was, or excuse me, the manga was in both Japan and America, and people loved it so much, and it was finished like so many years ago, and nobody knew that it was going to have an anime. So, and Caitlin sort of told me, when she was giving me background on the show, she was like, people are going to be really excited about this. People have been wanting this for a long time. People have been asking for this for a long time. So sort of, and I'm really glad that it's mostly being received very well. And the rest of the cast is just freaking stellar, and it's star-studded. So it's all very, very cool and very lucky. I'm very, very lucky.
Yeah, and regarding this anime, it's quite important to mention that it's not just the main character. It's like all the characters of the anime. They have like some impact on everyone. It's like you can identify with almost it is so much like work done for each like personality of each of
Mhm.
those. The jokes, the script in Japanese and English, because in both languages is crazy. It's really
Yeah.
good. It's quite a good job. It's probably one of the best animes of this season right now.
Ah,
It
thank
is.
you.
Because let me say, rom-coms, even though I'm a big fan of slice of life, that's my
Yeah.
genre. Slice of
Yeah.
life, rom-com, bring it, more than welcome. But rom-com, they used to share a very common trend.
Yeah.
For this case, when you hear the title, Tomo Chan is not, it is a girl, you'll start thinking, where the hell is this going? Tomo Chan is a girl. And when you see that relationship that is a boy and a girl, which is kind of, there's a comedy factor that exaggerates
Oh, for
everything.
sure.
But even that, it looks kind of natural, the interaction between characters, which I think it helps people to connect with them.
Mhm.
Not living apart. The cast, there is a big pedigree of voice actor. When we speak
Yeah.
about Junichiro Kubo,
Oh,
Ricco Fajardo,
that's
nothing.
one of my favorite, truly one of my favorite people in the universe. He is the English voice of Mirio, and I just smacked my microphone. I'm very professional. He's Mirio, and as you can see, I have a lot of. I've got him here. I've got him here. He's my favorite character from My Hero. And I was such a fan of him before I even started doing any of this. So the fact that we get to play opposite each other is just ridiculous. And the fact that Caitlin cast him because she had already cast me and said that we're similar and we have good energy together, I was like, okay, what are you saying? This, how dare you? It's the highest compliment to be compared and associated with him, because he is truly who I want to be when I grow up. So it's just so special and lucky. I can't stop saying it. It's just amazing.
Had you met him before being cast?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I actually interviewed him for a project of mine back in May of 2021. And we ended up meeting in person like a couple days later, because he found out that we lived in the same city, because I just moved, and he was like, oh my god, you're here, we have to hang out. And we've just become such good friends since then. We're always hanging out, we're always, talking about stuff, whatever, being very similar and recognizing that we do have similar energy. So we were already very good friends, and then so for Caitlin to be like, hey, be in this show, your first lead is opposite your friend, it's stupid. It's stupid, dude. It's amazing.
So tell
Did
me,
she know before you can go? Did she know of your relationship?
Yeah.
Like of that you were friends?
Yes, because
Okay.
we often at the studio, when we see each other, we're both very loud, so people would see us together all the time because we're like, and then that's how she started introducing me to people, or like talking about me to people when I wasn't around at the studio. She'd be like, oh, you don't know Lexi, she's like a female Ricco Fajardo, that's sort of her energy. I was like, what? Are you kidding me? That's the nicest thing that anybody could ever say about me.
and tell me about that photo shooting. I saw the picture and I was like, oh, Wanji, they went about and ahead, and I had in the picture here.
Yeah, it was all my idea, because I'm just a little freak. I was like, we have to do this because we're friends and we like this, and this is so amazing. I want to take these pictures just for me. Like, I guess other people will like it too, but it's really for me. So he was nice enough to meet up with me like a couple weeks before the announcement, and we literally took the pictures like in the lobby of the building that we record.
No way.
So it was, yeah, and the costumes actually they're not costumes. I actually like color corrected and had to edit the pictures. Give me a second, I can pull up the original photo, because it does not look like how it looks in the final product. We are wearing completely different colors. Yeah,
you can send that to me. It would be great, so I can add it to the video.
Yeah, I'll email it to you, because I don't have it.
We'll see.
On my
We'll
phone,
be
but,
here.
like, it'll focus. Like, that's the
Gotcha.
original picture.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not.
It won't focus.
It will be here in the video. I'm going to
Yeah.
add it because I
Here
saw
it
it.
is. Here it is.
The other corner.
Editing. So it looks completely different. I had to take out the background, I had to switch the colors, I had to do all of that in time for, I literally did it the day before, because they emailed us like, hey, tomorrow we're dropping it. So I was like, oh, I gotta do this today.
Guys, I'm not kidding. When I'm telling you, you guys are seeing the personality of Tomo Chan. This is the personality, which is killing me.
Yes.
Because when you see, and this is what I love of this series, most of the time, a series of romance, life, of slice of life, it focuses on only one character.
Mhm.
I don't know how the writer, he decided to focus in more than one character. We've
Yeah.
seen the surrounding character. We've seen Misuzu Gunda, which is voiced by Saxton.
Jade, I love Jade. She's amazing.
she's another pedigree voice actor, and we
Mm-hmm.
have one of the most unique situation where one of the also, I mean, I feel like all the girls in this year are waifu, but for real, they both,
Even the mothers, you can see a lot of posts on the internet about the mothers, right?
everybody, all the female, I mean, even the guy, even Junichiro, Ricco had they become husbando this
Yeah.
winter season. But the character of Carol,
Mhm.
Carol Alston, voice actor in Japanese by Sally Amaki,
Mhm.
voice actor in English by Sally Amaki.
Mhm.
We never see that coming.
Yeah.
How do you feel on when you hear about that?
It's amazing. We were very taken aback by it at first because we were like, how are we going to make this work? This is such a unique situation. But she flew to Texas from Japan to come record for like a week. Yeah.
I think it was
like,
remote.
Yeah, she did remote for the second half of the season, but for the first, I think, 9 episodes, she recorded in Dallas. So she actually had us all come in. Me, Ricco, and Jade came in to meet her, and we all took a photo together. We can put it here. I'll send it to you.
Yes.
Yes, please.
This is
Other corner.
this is the picture, and Caitlin is in the picture too. This is all of us together when she came to record.
That's insane. I never
It was
crossed my mind.
amazing. It was amazing, and
Impressive.
she was so nice, and she was so excited. My roommate suggested that I buy her the English copy of the manga where Tomo and Carol are like standing in front of each other like this. So I brought her that copy, and so when we saw each other, I was like, "Hi, I have this for you," and she was like, "Oh my gosh, can we take a picture together?" I was like, "Oh my gosh!" It was amazing. So I was like, "You are literally like a Japanese idol. Like you are part of a girl group. Like you have a whole following. Like you are famous, and I am just some greasy little rat who showed up one day, and they were like, she's funny. She can do this, I guess." So it was very strange. It was so cool though. She was so nice. She was so nice.
I'm so impacted to hear this. I have to confess. So I think on episode 2, I decided, okay, let me check it out who's the voice actor here. And when I'm looking for her voice actor, I see that it's the same person. So I'm thinking maybe they haven't published the person yet, or there's an error in the web page. But I'm thinking, I'm hearing her. Why I can't find her name? And suddenly I start looking at the website. Oh, it's that way voice actor. And I'm like, no way. And the other guy, one of our team member, Eliud, he called me, dude, do you hear the news? Like, tell me she's the same voice actor. She is the same voice actor.
Mm-hmm.
And like, how this happened? Of course, he told me, let's try to interview her. And like, of course, do you see her website? It's in Japanese. I can understand that. Like, use Google Translate. Like, yeah, we love it, that, man.
Yeah, she's amazing. She's so funny. Carol is such a funny character, and she does such a brilliant job, like in a whole different language, like in 2 different languages. She does such a brilliant job, and is hysterical in both languages. It's ridiculous. It's amazing.
So going back to you as Tomo, how do you describe your character, Tomo?
Oh my god, the best. She is so passionate. She is so nervous. She is so unsure, but she is so at the same time kind, and she is so like good at what she does without even realizing how good she is. And she's very determined, and she does know her worth, at least in her fighting and in her training in karate. But it's like on the flip side with just her as a person, she's like, I don't know, but she can kill you if she wanted to. Like, she's so confident and grounded in her skills and what she has trained herself to do. But when it comes to silly things like boys and like knowing how to be a girl, whatever that means, and trying to make it mean a certain thing that it doesn't have to be, it's just so funny to see that dichotomy. She's the best. She's a little sweetie, and I think she should just take a little break.
And he's also smart because she can read Misuzu, who is quite smart too.
Yeah.
And she can understand her pretty well. That's impressive, you know.
Yeah, their relationship is very unique, I think, and I love their relationship. It's very special.
You mentioned something that I want to bring into attention, because usually in anime, when we have a gender swapping character or not clear for the water, they try to make, because it was a boy, but now they realize it's a girl. They just try to go all the way that looks like a boy, then it's a girl.
Yeah.
In this case, they brought to reality a real personality that really exists, because most of the time when we speak about female character, we go with the same old culture expectation. Use girly makeup.
Yeah.
Let's say father. Can help me here.
A skirt.
Skirts. Using skirts.
Very
Yeah.
dainty.
Yeah.
Very
Well,
soft
like
spoken.
Carol.
And higher
When you
pitched
see Ca-
voice, which is
Yeah,
why
yeah,
I
like
feel great.
when you see Carol, yeah, when you see Carol, it's like on the opposite side.
Exactly.
Actually, it's quite funny because Tomo understands this. It's like Tomo is like, is she even a girl?
Yeah.
Like,
And
She's magic.
I
She's
gotta
not even
confess
real. Yeah.
something. I gotta confess something. So Onyx was watching it. He had started before. He had started without me, right? And I was passing by. I didn't know what was going on. All I heard was they're referring to this character as a girl, but I'm looking at this character. I'm like, doesn't look like a girl. Didn't sound at first like a girl, and I was like, wait, is that character a girl, Onyx? And he's like, yes, it is. And it
Guess
took
what the
me,
name of
like,
the show is?
exactly. That's what he told me. And it took me like a couple of minutes. I'm like, oh, I hear it now. I see. I got it.
but
Yeah.
when we bring it to reality, there's a lot of girls that they are natural because this is who they are. They when they're a child, they don't like to wear skirt to be makeup. They want to be children's enjoying her youth, play around, play a sport, play
Yeah.
with boys and girls,
Yeah.
beat themselves, magic. And this is what we see on Tomo. She's just
Yeah.
a natural child living his younger years with his
Mhm.
best friend, who is Junichiro.
Yeah.
But Junichiro, followed by the cultural standard, he realized. I mean, he assumed that if this person fight very well,
Yeah.
it's cool. She
yeah,
likes
actually, the problem here is not Tomo because Tomo, like everything about her makes sense. She likes sports. She's what she is. She's enjoying life. The
Mhm.
problem here is Yushiro. Yushiro, basically, he's thinking this stuff at the beginning because he was losing at her. He was this gamer that was not the person that he just saw her
Right.
and was thinking she was a boy, and he's the one at fault here.
Yeah.
He's the one that was wrong. Over time,
Right.
he realized she's actually a girl, and it's funny because now you got even an ending that is him speaking the story that she normally tells that he want to confess to her.
Yeah.
It's like the problem here is Junichiro.
Yeah.
Tomo's right. She was
Yeah.
just enjoying life.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. I think that's such an important message of the whole story is like it doesn't matter. It's however you identify is how you identify. It doesn't matter how you appear to other people. It's what you feel about yourself that should be respected. But obviously they're like 15 and 16, so they don't know that yet. So she's of course going through it like, well, how do I make other people feel this way about me? Because if if they don't know, then how am I supposed to? It doesn't matter. It don't matter, baby. It's okay. You don't gotta worry about it. It's okay. But I think that's just the beautiful thing about this show is that they know, but they don't quite get it yet. But I think that that's going to be really important to people who are maybe going through like discovering themselves and figuring out their identity. It's like it doesn't matter. It's what you feel about yourself. That's what matters.
that's the strong
So
message.
I do want to point something out. That Tomo Chan's character, because she doesn't fit the stereotypical girl role, right? It reminded me a lot of Luisa in the movie Encanto from Disney. where you get this very you got this very strong, powerful girl, and she's again not fitting the stereotypical gender roles, but in fact people love her. When you see one of the things I found out was that when Disney was trying to sell figurines, they made a lot of figurines for I forget her older sister's name right
Isabela?
now. Yeah, the pretty one, the one that's supposed to be like super pretty.
Yeah, that's Isabela. Yeah.
So they found out that the little girls were actually preferring Luisa over Isabela because finally you have a character that's completely different, and that's what I felt with Tomo Chan.
And that's so special, right? Because some of these little girls who maybe don't identify with with being flower and being pretty and being whatever and wearing dresses. They're like, but I want to go lift things. I want to go punch boys. I want to go play sports or whatever. Like and that's great. You can do that, and you can still be a girl if you want to be, or you don't have to be a girl if you don't want to be. You can be whatever you want. It doesn't matter. Whatever you feel is best, that's what you can do, and that like you have every right to do that. So I think it's so important and it's so special that there's no one way to be one certain thing.
And actually, it's quite funny too. And sorry, honest for just jumping, but you can see the projection of her in her mother as well as the other cases. It's like you just don't need to think too much on that. It's like they're telling you like she's this girl that is a pretty girl that will be continue to be a pretty girl in the future. Mm-hmm. But she's like that at this point because she likes to be this way. And it's funny because when you see the relationship of the mother of Tomo, it's similar to what you project.
Exactly, right.
Even I had to shout out to Carol's mom. I love that woman.
Morgan, yes. So good, right? She's hysterical.
I mean, I think everybody was shocked with that episode number 8 when for the first time, Carol, which is always a smiling, sunshine, the symbols happiness. Something happened that we see her crying for the first time.
Yeah.
Internet went down that day. We were like, oh my God, we were not ready to see that face. What happened here?
Yeah, it's, oh my God. And what a good scene between Carol and Misaki, that when they're in the bedroom. Oh my God, it's so good. It's so soft and it's so good. I just love them.
And I love it. I feel very identified with that moment when the mom jumped in, and I was like, "Yep, that's a Hispanic mom reaction. That's exactly what a Hispanic mom will do." Like, okay, my moment to stop it. Hey guys, we live in here.
Right, exactly. Like, do I have to kill somebody? What do I have to do? Let me know.
Yeah, exactly. That's. The only thing they were missing to make it more Hispanic was a chancleta flying to hit the guy. That's the only thing we were missing that scene, and they were like Hispanic all the way. And when you're performing Tomo, any challenge with that role that you felt like, oh my God, this is kind of challenging for me?
I mean, I hate to say no because it's not like, to do this is not easy, but I'm just so lucky that it is, like you were saying, so close to my personality already. So there isn't a lot of like, I got to get into character. Like I just hop in there and I read the words how I would say it. And they're like, yup, done, good, next. Just, I guess, getting used to the process of having so many lines and, going through the ADR process of like looking at the script and not talking so fast. Cause I'm sure you could tell I talk so fast. So a lot of the time, like almost every time I would read a line, they would be like, okay, we're going to do it again. Just go a little slower. Just about almost every time. So it got to the point where Leah just wrote more words because I could fit more words in the sentence because I talk so fast.
Kiara is laughing because I found a sister that speaks fast like me. I feel so identified. Sister, where I finally met you. Kiara is laughing so bad because she knows about this.
It's just in general, and okay, so also in general for our Hispanic culture, we do tend to speak very quickly.
Right.
And I've always had, like, just for Onyx, because he's using himself as an example, he's the type of person who will speak so quickly that you're like, go, slow down, what you say, go again, enunciate.
Exactly. Right. So there's so many times where we have to do that again. So, and I still struggle with this. Like, even after doing all these episodes, I still will go to do another show and they're like, let's do it again, but please slow down. Like, so I guess that's the hardest thing is chilling out, which I still not very good at.
I'm not alone.
Practice. That's just practice.
Yeah. Exactly. Maybe meditating every now and then.
But that's good because you're enjoying like the play.
Oh, for sure. Because I'm excited to be there and I'm happy to do it, but I'm like, it's so fast.
I'm trying to remember one moment that I will describe it and I will go fast, trying to show you how fast I can go by getting excited, but I can't get one right now.
It's okay. It has to come naturally. It's okay.
Don't worry. You'll see him at the end when he say, please like, subscribe, and share to our channel. And follow us on social media. He won't even say the entire words. For
example, I wasn't expecting to be so excited when I saw that Misu and Junichiro were boyfriend before. Like when I started together, I'm like, oh my God, they're boyfriend already? That would be me. That would be me excited. I keep accelerating, and
But I'm with you. I got you. I'm the same way, dude. I'm the same way. I'm right there with you. Yeah, that episode is fun.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, again, going back to Tomo Chan, it is not the usual romance rom-com that we see often.
Mm-hmm.
And I mentioned a spoiler over there that Junshiro and Misu, they were boyfriend. But
for like
trust
what,
me,
like a couple days or like a week or something.
trust me.
But it's really funny how the
Yeah, it's
relationship
hysterical.
start and how it ends. It's like Misuzu is mad
Yeah.
about that. How that ends. It's
He
like
said it
you
first!
need to. Yeah, it's like the audience need to look at these episodes carefully. They will
Spoiler
enjoy it.
alert, because you guys have time for this. So
No,
we're
come
going
on.
through it. For me, it was the best breakup this story I hear in my life. When she's explaining, oh my god, so we decided to date. He was like that. He decided to take me for biking to the mountain to do workout, and I was dressing as a lady, sweating like a boy. And the next day, when I'm done, he decided he had the gut to say, hey, I know I'm the one who proposed to you, but we shouldn't continue together. So he prayed with me first, and I'm like, I'm dying here with Musuru.
It's so silly. It's so silly. And that shot of her with like when she's like, he said it first. That's so funny. It's so good.
But that's something funny about Misuzu. She's really silly, even when she's really smart. When she really is good at reading people, she's so silly for everything, especially when it's related about Tomo. She's like a small kid when she's speaking about Tomo, when she's working about Tomo, and Tomo knows it. That's the funny part.
Yeah, it's so special. Really, their relationship is so sweet, and it's so like it gets so different because usually I feel like it's usually switched, right? Like Misuzu would be the main character, and then Tomo would be like the best friend that comes in and is like, "I'm wacky, I'm different. Here's my advice. It's probably wrong." But then it would be Misuzu's the main character, but it's flipped, and Misuzu is like this like mastermind puppet master coming in and trying to make everybody do certain things, and then it always blows up in her face because they're too wacky. It's so good.
The funny part of those lines is that then you got Carol, that is even more a mastermind and more like the top student. When you see that, it's like, wow, come on, what happened here?
Right. She's like, why'd you do this? You should have just done this. And they're all like, oh my god, she's right.
And I love they use the real language that we will use in a normal conversation.
Right.
Oh my god, she's a Kiara, she's like, she said that big word?
She did. She calls her a shady bee. It's so funny. It's so funny.
Again, it's one of the series that I never thought end up in the ranking, and it made it ranks the top rank #1 for the last weeks. And I'm sure by the end of the wrap up the winter season 2023, it's going to up at least 3 in the top 3 for sure.
That's so cool.
That's
so cool. What the heck?
It's going to be on the top.
I feel like it's taking the first. It's very easy. It's a very good runner-up for first place, especially
it's a complicated season. You got a lot of stuff there right now, you know.
Yeah.
And even so, you see, it's a really good season. And
we
still you got
right
those on that list. That's impressive.
Yeah, we're just so lucky. We're so lucky. It's awesome.
Well, no, it's not just lucky. You're doing like a great job. Everyone.
Thank you.
Come on.
And also, so we don't have confirmation yet, but there's rumors that there might be a season 2. So
man, we'll see. When you know, let me know, because I never want to leave her. She's the best. I'll do it forever, man.
I was looking right now.
They'll have me.
I was looking at the website, like, I don't see why. It looks like there's material for it, but again,
we don't know.
We don't know, but also we had doubts when a series like this made the tops unexpected.
Yeah.
I mean, it was expected, but even that, they were not expecting that people who were not aware it will fall in love with it. Right. They have an ace in the game.
Yeah, and that's so special.
And going to the other side of the spectrum with Valkyrie. Is that right this time?
Valkyrie.
There you go. Yeah. It's almost like Spanish, except the W is a V. The only thing different is that the W is a V sound. So
Mhm.
Valkyrie.
In
Yeah.
Spanish.
I know what's killing
Valkyrie.
me so bad.
That's,
Valkyrie.
it helps me a lot with Japanese pronunciation. Knowing Spanish pronunciation helps me a lot
Oh,
because a lot
yes.
of people can't like tap their R's or stuff like that, like the re sound or like any sort of like. It's a lot easier for me than for some people, for sure.
Valkyrie. The other
Valkyrie.
side of Valkyrie. Oh my god.
It's not a Valkyrie, it's a Valkyrie.
I'm about to say hair at this point. Valkyrie from
you
Attack
go.
of Destiny. One of the characters that also, one of the series that was very expected in 2022, it really made the news. It was a game changer, especially when we speak about anime and video games.
Uh-huh.
How was the experience for you? Let's first, how would you describe that series of Attack of Destiny for those who haven't watched it yet?
I know that it's very like magical girl, but not like I'm cute and magical girl. Like they're fighters also, and it's all based on like classical music. So that it's all based around like that's what it all is based around is classical music. And I know the main character is like wants to be a composer and a musician, and he plays piano and all that stuff. So if you like classical music and also like magical girls who fight and can kick some butt, it's very up your alley.
An apocalyptic scenario. Which is
Yes, right.
interesting.
It's like it's a post-apocalyptic thing with like the D2s or like the monsters, and they've yeah.
And one of the factors that we speak too much many times about this anime in our convention, every time we go as a panelist, we have 2 panels so far. And one of those panels is anime inspired in video games.
Yeah.
And when we speak about this one, Attack of Destiny, everybody always gets surprised that the scenario where the story takes place is not in Japan, like 99% of the story.
Right,
It's in the
right.
United States. Which
Yeah.
people were like, what? Like, yeah, we have a story that they're starting in Arizona.
Yeah.
They're trying to make it to New York during
Yes.
the apocalyptic scenario where they're just driving because there's no aircraft, there's nothing. Trains are limited by the government entity who are fighting the
Right.
how was the name? The
D2s.
D2s.
Yeah.
So it's a very interesting anime, very different. Like you said, it combines classic music, fighting,
Yeah.
badass girl character,
Yeah.
and some romance or
A little bit,
It's-
yeah.
but different. And you have a very different ending than I don't think anybody was expecting it.
Right.
Most of the time, we're always used to see the hero walking out the scene. This time, we were like, "Holy crap! What happened here?"
Right. There's a lot.
And Valkyrie is it's the opposite of Tomo. How was the experience of how do you land here? Let's start with this
Right.
role.
I mean, that was my first time getting cast in like an actual like role, and not just being like a background character or a bit part that was like 2 lines in an episode. So I was very nervous because I mean, she's so like, I am sure of myself and I am in charge and whatever. And me walking in there, I was like, I'm very nervous. But it was very cool, and I knew that was probably going to be the type of character that I would get cast as, because there's a lot of like the tough girl warrior, military girl, like that sort of character. There's a lot of those in anime. So I was stunned when Tomo came out, and it was like that was the point, is she sounds like a boy and she has such a low voice, but she's also off the walls and is yelling all the time and can be funny and can be energetic, because a lot of times, obviously, as you can tell, I'm a very energetic person and I'm kind of loud, and for those like badass warrior parts, they'll usually be like, okay, that was good, like the voice is there, can we bring the energy down just a little bit, can you be more forward, be more pointed, can you sound a little bit meaner, can you sound a little bit more, so that's usually that's the notes that I'll get. So that's with Tomo, I obviously don't have to be like that because she is so nice all the time, and she is like, it was when she has those like scary badass moments that we'd have to be like, okay, how can we like make her sound a little bit meaner, a little bit more scary, because it's just not how I am naturally.
Yeah, Tomo is more like the girl that a girl it is natural, or how the person want to project herself, especially
Right.
when dealing with hard situation. While in this scenario in Attack of Destiny, Valkyrie is the other way. You have to
Yeah.
be more quiet, it's
Exactly,
more
like
focused,
this. Yeah.
mission oriented. For those who love makeover, if you guys want good reference to eyes makeup,
Oh my gosh, their makeup is so cool. It's so
it
cool.
killed me. It killed me those who love like Cirque du Soleil makeup,
Oh my gosh, it's awesome.
that's your series to get inspired because you will see a palette of colors.
Oh, beautiful.
Freaking beautiful.
It's so beautiful. All the character designs in that show are outstanding. They're so beautiful.
Even one of the male character that I can't remember his name. I don't see here. Lenny. Even Lenny. He's like super handsome, elegant. You can see the guy. He's like super fashion. So this is even that if we're talking about action music, you're a lover of makeup.
Yeah.
Outfits. This is the one.
It's visually appealing as much as it is with the story. Yeah, absolutely.
And moving forward, one of the stories that I don't want to leave behind. By the grace of the goddess, the role of Maki. Did I guess it?
No, Beck. It's gonna be by the grace of the gods, Beck.
That one. Almost left it. I have to sweat that one.
I'm like, where do you even get that name from?
He is a monkey, so it was close.
Why'd you say that?
Monkey sounds like Maki. I don't know.
I try.
That's a reach.
Oh yes.
So, how was the experience giving your voice to this character?
It was fun because he's a little boy. It's just fun to say for me to just sound like me, and they'd be like, "Yeah, that's a little boy." I'm like, "Yeah, that's fun." I think it was just fun, and getting to work with Jade, who plays Misuzu, is the director of that show. So I got to work with Jade. Yeah, being a little boy, it was so fun.
I'm going to drop a curveball here question. Many people, or especially ladies or boys, will get offended or feel weird if they say that their voice looks kind of girly. And I feel the same way happening with girls. They say, "Hey, your voice doesn't sound so girly." But I see you like, "Oh, my voice sounds like a boy's." Any advice for those persons who walk through that path where they feel kind of ashamed of their voice?
Oh yeah, I mean, shoot, even still, like a lot of the comments on all the Tomo stuff are like, "Wow, I can't believe they got an actual guy to voice Tomo," and it'll feel weird, but also at the same time, I'm like, that's the point. Period. Yeah, I do. Yeah, and I'll keep booking. So know that no matter what you sound like, as long as it's true to you, it's marketable. Like what matters is the honesty, and that's what's gonna read and connect with people. So it can suck, and it can, it can feel kind of weird, and it can kind of get you down if you let it. But don't, just know that that's you, and that's gonna connect with somebody. So keep doing it, keep going for it.
Which, by the way, I want to put like a little parentheses. I don't know why people even care so much about that when you have American TV shows where the female characters are voiced by men, like Bob's Burgers.
I was going to say exactly like Tina and Bob's Burgers, exactly.
Japanese is the same. You go with a lot of the animes are like women speaking like a man. All random stuff. I was quiet here because I was looking around at different like rankings. Actually, Tomo Chan, and the others, and the other anime that is a rom-com at some point is the Magical Revolution of the Reincarnated Princess. Those two are the top 10 so far in many of the lists at this point, which is again something really good.
That's so cool. That's cool.
And you also got Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro second season.
Yes.
It's quite strong.
Yes, people love that. I see that everywhere.
No. This season is crazy. You got a lot of big names. Vinland Saga, Damachi, that is a fourth season there. You got My Hero Academia, Bungo Stray Dog, One Piece that is running there, Tomo Chan that is in this list I am reading. Welcome to Demon School, Iruma-kun. The Magical Revolution of the Reincarnated Princess. The Angel Next Door Spoiled Me Roaring, that is another good anime that is a rom-com too. When you think about it, it's madness. Even Handyman Saito got a good review. When you think about it, it's crazy. I just want to bring that up. That even when you got so much to speak about this season, so many good animes, Tomo is getting his praise. He's doing pretty good on the net.
Well, it's kind of early, but we're about to find out next year on the Anime Awards when they announce it. Because
Lord have mercy.
We'll see what happens. I mean, we never know how that's going to go, but most of the time, when we see this ranking tops, we give a good heads up. We might be the runner-ups here. So, but
Hey, we might be able to see you in
Oh, God!
best protagonist, voice actor, English, something
crap.
like that.
and you get to
You
see
never know. You never know.
1 year from now. I interview her further than you guys. I interview her.
I will die. I will be a puddle on the floor. I'll be just sobbing. That's so that's crazy.
Let me tell you, I was lucky enough this year. They invited me to the press conference press this year. So,
Oh, that's amazing.
they sent me. They invited me like the week before. Hey, you want to come here? Like, oh my god, hell yeah! Like I said,
Yeah.
yes. You didn't even have to work. I had to take some time off to join, and the anime award ceremony, all the conference is a big deal. So I knew it was big, but when I went to the conference press, I was like, holy cow, you never imagine how big is this until you're like getting involved with this. So
Yeah.
very interesting.
That's amazing. Holy moly.
It was nuts, I can tell you. So going back, girls, you guys mentioned something about Bob Burger. Many people like me doesn't know the story. What's going on with Bob Burger? You guys said that it is just like Bob Burger, the voices.
Yeah, the character of Tina, right? That's the daughter with the blue and the short hair and glasses is voiced by a man. And so is Linda. Linda's also voiced by. It's not the same person. Is it the same person or is it two different?
I don't
remember.
know.
I think it's two different
I
people.
haven't checked.
Yeah,
I think
Linda
so
and
too.
Tina are both voiced by men.
But that's the thing. It's like I remember watching Bob's Burgers, and Onyx was like, "Oh, I can't stand it when I see a girl, but it's voiced by a guy." I'm like, "What does it matter? What does it matter? It's okay."
Yeah.
No, I mean, when this happened, most of the us people, audience, we show up a little resistant at the beginning because we are used to hearing the same. It's natural when you're used to eat the same drink, you eat the same food. There's somebody that bring a little bit of salt or sugar, you're going to show resistance. But then when you try again, you're going to realize, oh wait, this is good.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what happened with Tomo. The first episode, it shows some resistance. There were people who love it. Like you mentioned, there were people who were kind of hard, aggressive, or criticizing the tone of the voice. For me, it was interesting, super interesting, because again, I'm not seeing the same usual very high-pitched voice.
Right.
And the voice, the tone is matching the attitude, the story, the person. So I'm like, even that I'm not used to hear this, I want to keep hearing it because there's a story behind it.
Yeah.
And I think by the third episode, people were already in love with everything. We all forget about the different fish. And that's what I said, that this season brought a unique waifu to the lead, because most of the time, waifu trained to be waifu. Who doesn't know who's a waifu? Is the fictional character that people fall in love with them. And for this game, most of the waifu tend to be like super girly, super guy, or it's really weird to see an antagonist waifu or different voice tone waifu.
Right.
And we got it this year, which I'm excited. I'm more than happy and grateful to have had experienced this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey,
I have a question. Well, it's not gonna be more. It's not gonna be towards your roles. It's gonna be more towards how did you get into voice acting? Because we've talked about your roles, we've talked about everything, but I mean, I'd like to know also your background. How do we get blessed with Lexi as Tomo Chan?
That's so sweet for you to phrase it like that. That's so funny. I've always been annoying and loud. So I auditioned for my first school play when I was in the 4th grade, and I would just do the school plays every year, and it's just something that I fell in love with. But for the longest time, I thought I was going to be an artist, like visual artist, like drawing, because my classmates and my peers would be not very nice to me about doing the plays and singing and all that stuff, but they would always ask me to draw them. They'd be like, oh, your drawings are so good, can you draw me, can you draw my friends? So I was like, oh, clearly this is what I need to do with my life, because that's what other people want me to do, is to draw. And then I took one art class in my freshman year of high school, and I said, I cannot do that, because as soon as other people tell me what to draw, I don't want to draw anymore. I want to draw what I want to draw. And there's a lot of patience.
I understand that feeling.
right. And with artwork, there's a lot of you have to put thought into the composition, and you have to be patient with it, and it takes a lot of time. And unfortunately, I'm not a patient person if it's not something that I'm really excited about and passionate about. But for me, with performing, it's not something that I have to like really take a lot of time to get into. Like once I start doing it, then I'm in it. It's easy for me to just be there and just do it. So that ended up being a lot easier for me to choose as like a career thing, which I didn't even know was like I could do until I was like almost done with high school, when I was like, oh my God, I could do this, and I could go to college for this, and I could learn about this. So I went to college for musical theater. So musical, like that's where I feel like I really live, is on stage and doing musicals. That's my favorite thing in the world. Obviously, as you can tell, I'm a very physical person and I make silly facial expressions. So that's where I feel most at home. And I feel like all my skills are put on display. So that's where I have most of my experience from. And then I worked for a year at Universal in Orlando as a character performer. And then everything shut down for COVID. So obviously I had to like think about things again. And I rediscovered my old love for voice actors, because when I was a teenager, I would watch more voice actor panels on YouTube than I would actual anime. Like I would finish a show and then look up every single voice actor panel under the sun from conventions and watch all of that. And I was obsessed with them. So right before the pandemic happened, I played Persona 5, and then I started getting YouTube recommendations of voice actor panels from the characters from Persona 5. I was like, oh no, am I gonna do this again? Am I gonna like go down this rabbit hole and watch all these voice actor panels? And I did. And then when, everything shut down and I couldn't perform anymore, I was like, what if I did that? Because I know so much about this and I'm so familiar with this field, but I never thought that I would do it. I just like to enjoy it from afar. But since stage stuff and performance wasn't happening, I was like, what if I just tried it? Like just for fun, what if we did that? So I took a couple classes, and then my roommate and I were like, let's move to Dallas. Let's just try to be in this community that we are so familiar with and that we know so much about, and we're so like, I think that we could do it. I think that we could fit in and do it. And now we're both working at Crunchyroll, so it's awesome. It's so cool.
Wow. And this is technically, we can say this happened yesterday. We're speaking about the timeline. You just started on this.
Right. I moved here in March of 2021, and I got my first session was about a year ago with doing Walla and background stuff.
Wow. And 2 years later, and you have like such a big role. It's amazing.
I feel so lucky. I feel so lucky. It was a very special, right place, right time, right people. Like it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. I'm so lucky.
And what about your passion for anime
Oh my gosh. I mean, like I said, it started when I was like 13. I watched Ouran High School Host Club was my first one, which Caitlin directed the English dub, and she's Haruhi. So like the fact that is a thing is like, it blows my mind. That when Caitlin Glass is asking me, hey, I have a question for you, hop out of the booth, I was like, oh my gosh, what is going on?
Yeah, that was my question. Like, were you fangirling when you first met her?
All the time. I mean, and that's the thing, right? Is, thankfully, I'm very lucky to say, as I have gotten older and I've gotten, I've honed my craft or what have you, and I've gotten better at the thing that I do. You realize that like these people that I've admired for so long, they're doing the same thing as me. Like they're just people doing the thing. And so I can be friends with these people. I can play opposite of Ricco Fajardo. Like it's just like, it's crazy. But it's so like validating, and it's so exciting to know that I can collaborate with these people that I've respected for so long. And that's all I want to do. Is for me, it always ends up being more about the people than the content. Which I think sometimes can be weird, but it's just so special to me that I get to work with these people and see these people and know these people. It's so special.
We're going to speak later in the backstage because we also work on Disney, so we're going to talk about it later.
Okay, yeah.
And I was not a character performer. I just went to the tryouts. Which I didn't pass in first round.
That's okay. For Disney, I didn't either. I never did. I would go where they stand there and you smile and they look at you and they're like, okay, these 5 people stay. And I was never one of the 5 people.
They didn't make you dance all the workout.
Oh, I didn't. I never went to those because I can't. I'm not a dancer, so I would never.
Me
even
neither.
go to those.
They make me dance, and I'm like, I never danced in my life. And in a big room with full of mirrors, and I'm like, what the heck? And I'm like dancing from here, like it's experience, guys.
Oh
It's
yeah.
awesome.
Oh yeah.
When we speak about, I mean, just wrapping it up, and with all the respect to all the actual voice actors that are in the industry, and we also respect their work, and I don't want to say we want to submit to them, but there's any anime character that have been dubbed or haven't been dubbed yet that you would love to share your voice with that character?
Oh, that's so hard, right? Because I mean, shoot, because there's so many that I love, and people are cast so correctly. And that's the thing too, is I hate to get attached to things because there's so many amazing people that should play these different parts. So I don't know if there's anything that like hasn't been even done yet, or things that are out. I don't even know. It's tough. I mean, if you got a rambunctious even little boy or girl that will yell a lot and is excited, I would love to do it.
So which one is the first one that you cross your mind like, I want to be the character? The one that crossed your mind like, I would love to do the character. That
if
role.
Ryuji from Persona 5 was a girl, which is essentially Tomo, so I feel like I did it. I did. Even when I was first like practicing voiceover stuff, I took Ryuji's lines and would read them, and I was like, I like this. It's fun. And that's Tomo. Is a nice person, a nice high schooler who will get in trouble sometimes because they end up fighting because of they want to make sure that things are set straight and things are good and everybody's happy. Like that, they're very similar, and that's special. That's so special to me.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
What would you say is your favorite genre for anime?
Oh, that's so hard. Because there's no one that I feel myself particularly into, because I end up watching the shows for the people in the shows and not particularly like I enjoy the show and the story, obviously, but like fights stress me out a lot. So I don't want to say it because like My Hero is one of my favorites, but fights stress me out. So I don't want to say that shonen is my favorite because I'm often stressed. And I love slice of life. I don't. It's tough because I love Spy Family. I love Soul Eater. I love Oron. It's like all of them. So it ends up being like the characters that I find myself like tropes of characters. I feel more attached to than genre of show, I think. So usually like the silly ones or like the good boys are usually my favorite. Like Deku and Mirio are my favorites from My Hero. Death the Kid is my favorite from Soul Eater. Tamaki is my favorite from Oron, and Hikaru and Kaoru are my favorites from Oron too. So it's tough to say. Oh, and I love Hanako in Toilet Bound Hanako-kun. I love.
I saw her in the back.
Artwork.
Wait, that's yours artwork?
No. I
Okay.
bought it at a convention. Yeah.
Gotcha. I'm like, oh my god.
Oh my god, no, this is so beautiful. I could never.
Who am I seeing on the yellow background? That's Joe.
That's
not Joe.
right here. That's Ryuji. Ryuji
Okay,
from Persona.
gotcha.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Yeah.
I'm like, I feel like a weather person
Almost there.
trying to. There we go. Yeah.
And the
that's
stories
Ryuji.
having here, we have the center, the depression, and we have Florida that way.
Yeah,
The green
exactly.
screen.
Exactly right.
Guys.
No, I've asked already.
Well, I just keep thinking I probably should already answered this question, but about your favorite anime. What is your favorite anime among all of
I
those?
think it's Soul Eater. Well, I have different ones for different reasons, right? So I love Soul Eater because it was my first sort of, because I watched it right after I watched Oron, and I heard like the same voices, and I was like, wait, I recognize this person, and that's sort of what introduced me into the world of the English dubbing. So that one will always hold a special place in my heart, and it's very important to me. But also I love My Hero because there's a character for everyone, and it's so, every person can find a character that they relate to, and it's special stories, and I love that show so dearly, and it's important to me, and it's connected me to a lot of my friends, and I've made amazing relationships because of that show. And then I love the art of Hanako. It's so fun, and it's spooky, but it's cute, and it's the performances in that show are also amazing. And Jade also directed that show, so it's like I have so many different favorites for different reasons. But those are the big ones for me, I think.
I don't know.
Yeah, actually, about Soul Eater, probably there is going to be
I was about to say that.
Yeah, okay, go ahead though. That's
No,
awesome.
go ahead. There's a petition going on. People are asking to retake it again. So
Oh, really?
I saw two petitions to retake it and to continue it. It looks
Uh-huh.
like the strongest ones to remake it so they can continue because I didn't knew. One of our followers explained me that Soul Eater was not complete the anime. They just have like one part and it was left halfway.
Uh-huh.
Same history as Full Metal.
Yes.
This is-
Okay. Right.
Same story.
Okay.
The thing is
gotcha.
that now they are bringing up to the table, and I think that we even have some news from Japan that this is going to happen. That basically they want to do the remake, but with the actual manga story. Because the
Right.
problem with Soul Eater that people didn't like it was the end.
Right.
Right.
Gotcha.
That was
I-
not related to the manga.
I get it. I mean, I'm a big fan of Soul Eater, and I don't know what happened to you, Lexi, but Paper Moon, the opening, I
Oh,
love that
beautiful,
song.
right? Yes, beautiful.
The sequence for me made me goosebump.
Oh, yeah.
When you hear the translation, when you read the translation of the song of Paper Moon from Japanese to English, so deep that song.
Yeah.
Find me in your dreams, and I will bring down the star to the floor so they can light up your pathway
Yeah.
under the darkest moon. I'm like, oh my god!
Yeah.
I love it like a poem.
It's
I'm
so
reading a
good.
poem here.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
I get goosebumps. I recently watched the first couple episodes just for nostalgia's sake, and that first guitar strum of Death the Kid's song, the Bang 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 Have a Nice Dream, I started crying because I was like, oh, I love him.
The Soul Eater was technically what opened me to the world of fan dub of songs. Of openings.
Yes.
And
Okay.
I want to start hearing the lyric of what really means the song, and Amanda Lee was one of the best dub fan dub for that song. When
Yeah.
you hear the story in English, damn, it's
Yeah.
very romantic and dark one, and I love it.
Yeah,
Definitely.
it's so good. It's so good.
Lexi, for those who want to haven't followed you yet, which social media they can follow you?
I mostly post on Instagram, which is just my name. If you wait right here, right there, but with no space, LEXINIETO. But if you want to follow me on Twitter, just put an underscore between my names, and that's the same. It's the same thing.
And like always, all the link to her social media will be in the description. So guys, easy. Go to the description now, open the read, and you'll find the link straight to her social media and Twitter and Instagram. And for us, we ask you kindly for a like, subscribe, and share to our social media on YouTube. Very important. That bell, the like, is very important to subscribe. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok for a lot of English funny content over there. So you have fun. And Lexi, thank you so much. It was so fun
Thank
meeting
you. Oh my gosh, absolutely. Thank you guys so much. It was so fun. I love it.
I will see you in the next episode. Sayonara.
Bye.